Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Shine Podcast. I'm Stefan and here with me is Dani, with whom we will be discussing the topic of human rights and values of the European Union. Hi, Dani.
Hi, Stefan. Shine is a cool name, by the way. Shine like the sun?
It could be that too, as we're trying to bring important subjects to light with this show, but it's actually something like an acronym derived from our mission, shaping the future of Europe. Which brings us to the essence of our talk. Europe's future will be in jeopardy if certain values are not being upheld.
Rightly so. As many of our listeners know, the European Union is an international organization promoting political and economic cooperation to secure peace and prosperity for its members, following the destruction brought by the Second World War. In order to achieve that, it acts in accordance with a defined set of values. They are the organization's guiding light, if you let me allude to the shiny metaphors chat we just had.
Feel free, yeah. So, what are these values? Can we break it down a bit?
Well, human dignity is one. It states that every person is worthy of dignity and it should be respected for who they are. No less important is equality. All citizens of the EU countries are equal before the law. If you commit a crime, it won't matter whether you're a celebrity Instagram influencer, a university student, a CEO of a large corporation, a construction worker, an engineer, or a member of a minority group. You will be held accountable and prosecuted following the same procedures and regulations. Also, nobody can be discriminated against on the basis of gender, skin color, religion, or other personal traits. Then we come to something that has been around since ancient times: democracy.
Wait, democracy? That's more like a system of government, right? And the EU isn't really a state of a full-on federation.
True, but the EU is built on democratic principles. Citizens can vote in elections for the European Parliament and they can even run for office themselves. When they vote in their own countries, they're also helping decide who joins important EU bodies like the European Commission and the Council. So they have a say in how the EU works.
Oh, yeah. And there is also that thing called separation of powers, like in most democracies. The European Parliament makes laws, right?
Yeah, exactly. The Parliament is the legislative branch. Then there is the European Commission, which is the executive, kind of like the EU's government, and the Court of Justice of the EU, which is the judiciary. Actually, the EU's court system has two parts. The Court of Justice, they handle big questions like how to interpret EU law and settle cases against countries or institutions, and the General Court, which deals with cases brought by people, businesses, or organizations. That's the basic idea anyway.
Right. And those courts help protect the rule of law too, don't they?
You've hit the sweet spot here because that's another value that needs our attention. It means the EU's actions aren't random or just made up in secret meetings by a few powerful people. On the contrary, every action is transparent as it is based on treaties that have been voluntarily and democratically agreed by all member states.
Can you tell us a bit more about those documents, the treaties, and why are they important?
These treaties outline the objectives of the Union and the rules according to which its institutions operate. Decision-making processes, monetary policies, and specifics of the relationship between a member state and the EU are also detailed. Even the values we are discussing now can be found in not one but two official documents: the EU Charter of Fundamental Rights and the Lisbon Treaty.
So, if you think about how democracy and the rule of law actually affects us, the people living in the EU, can we say that they help protect personal freedoms like the freedom to speak your mind, the freedom to gather in groups, or the freedom to practice any religion you want?
For sure. And I would add a few more important rights: the right to go to school, the right to access information, the right to privacy, and the right to own property. Together with the freedoms you mentioned, these make up another key value of the EU: freedom. But freedom isn't just about you can say what you can say or believe, it also includes the right to move around the EU, live whenever you want, wherever you want, or travel freely between countries.
Can you also seek employment and go to university in a member state of your choice?
Of course, many universities make it easier for students from the EU to apply because they want young people to explore new opportunities, learn new things, and find their passion. And a lot of people move for work too. Maybe they find a great job or just want to try something different. Plus, the EU supports upskilling, meaning they help people learn new skills through programs like the Erasmus Plus and Pact for Skills, training courses, and lifelong learning. That way, more and more Europeans can land awesome jobs. So if your dream job isn't available where you live, don't give up. Check out the EU's job platforms. There are tons of options. And remember, you are free to work in any EU country that needs your skills and talents.
It's also a great way to discover a new culture, learn another language, and make some friends.
Exactly. Those are among the things I would consider when deciding whether to move to a different country for work.
Just to quickly sum up the values of the European Union we've talked about so far, There's human dignity, equality, rule of law, freedom, and democracy. Am I missing anything?
Yep. Don't forget respect for human rights. It might seem like a no-brainer after everything we have discussed, but it's super important to highlight. It's really the foundation of all the other values. It covers a lot like protection from discrimination based on things like gender, race, religion, disability, age, or sexual orientation. It also includes freedom from torture, slavery, the right to privacy, the right to protest peacefully, the right to access justice, and even the right to apply for asylum.
Oh, yeah, I was about to forget. Recognizing and protecting these rights is key to building a peaceful and fair community. But the reality is, we do see cases where people's rights are still violated, like discrimination in job ads, hateful comments on TikTok or Instagram, or unfair admin barriers when someone tries to work or study in another country. What can people do if they face that?
Sadly, human rights violations do happen even in a place like the EU that's all about cooperation and fairness. If you ever feel your rights have been violated, you can take action.
Is that so? Can you take us through the needed steps?
Your first step is usually to contact the relevant national bodies like an ombudsman, an anti-discrimination commission, or go through the courts. If that doesn't work and your case is about a fundamental right covered by the European Convention on Human Rights, you can actually take it to the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg. But before you do that, it's important to check if your case is eligible.
How so?
They have a simple checklist on their website. It's pretty easy to find. Also, if you face issues like a member state not recognizing your right to live, work, or study freely in the EU, you can use Solve It. It's a free online service that helps EU citizens when countries aren't following the rules. It's super handy.
Are you saying that I can submit a complaint about with my phone?
Absolutely, you can submit a complaint with your phone. You start by selecting the service you need, advice on EU rights or problem resolution, and then follow a few simple steps to complete a complaint form. Here is how to do it. So I can show you even now. And actually, target resolution time is about 10 weeks, so it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was totally unaware of that service.
It's quite useful. Do you think we can display the link somewhere?
Definitely. Let's show it there. It goes to the bottom of the screen. Where is the link? And you can follow Solve It.
Great. There are also other ways to speak up if you feel something is not right. For example, if you're unhappy with how EU institutions or bodies are handling an issue, or if you notice a bigger problem that seems unfair, you can reach out to the European Ombudsman. If your complaint is about how an EU country is applying EU laws, like they're not enforcing a rule properly, you can report it to the European Commission. And if you want to suggest a change to EU laws or raise concerns about something happening in the EU, you can petition the European Parliament. That's open to all EU citizens and organizations. Don't think of these tools as a waste of time or pointless. They're actually really effective. They often lead to sanctions or solutions that fix the problem faster than you might expect.
We also shouldn't forget that we have broadcasting devices in our pockets, like this, and use them to spread the word about breaches of human rights and efforts to undermine EU values.
Oh yes, by all means. When you witness an incident or come across something disturbing online, document it and share it. Your content will not only draw attention to the problem, but can also be used to support your formal complaint. So stay alert and act. It's your rights we're talking about.
I believe this is the right note on which to conclude our conversation. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Shine Podcast. Tune in for the next one. I will be discussing tools for active citizenship and e-participation with Danny. Bye.
Bye.